What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. I'm Huzefa, and I'm going to be walking you guys once again through the SAT preparation process in this 5-part series. We are in day 4 of 5, and I'm very excited because we're continuing this run through of real actual SATs, and today we are tackling the March 2018 SAT. So very recent. Last 2 days we've been going over the May one. And yeah, I'm very excited. So what's up, Sergey? I see Sergey has jumped on. Guys, here's the deal. With this test, I'm again taking it under time conditions. And today I'm doing the calculator section. No calculator section. It's pretty short. So I'm doing it under time conditions. I'm taking it for the first time. I've never seen these test questions. And as I always say, I believe that's part of the value and part of the fun, to actually go through the problems in real time so you can see the actual problem solving process up close. So because of the nature of the way that I'm taking this test, I won't be able to answer questions while I'm taking it. But at the end, then I'm going to check the message board. And what's up? What's up, Piyush? And I will check the message boards, and then I will tackle all the questions that you guys have. So keep your questions. And you can even throw them in the chat, and I'll go back at the end and scroll up. But if you don't put them down right away, just remember them or take notes, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. The official SAT. And, oh, I need a timer as well. So this is a 25-minute test, and here we go. I'm just going to kind of upload the pages one at a time. Takes up a little bit of time, but not much. It's negligible. 6 pages. All right, here we go. This is my favorite section because I just like that you don't have to deal with the calculator or do any calculations. You just do everything in your head or on paper, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite part of the whole SAT, and it's quick too. On your marks, get set, and begin. The lines in the XY plane are... Hold on, let me zoom. Oops, shoot. Oh, I should have cleared the last thing. Darn it. Hold on, let's clear all this. Yeah. Shoot. Oh, come on, don't do that. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, here we go. Lost a little bit of time, but it's no big deal. Lines in the XY plane are the graphs of 2 linear equations. What's the solution XY to the system formed by the equations? What's this intersection point is all it's asking, okay? It looks like -1, -1, +2. You see that? -1 on the X, +2 on the Y. B. A checkers enthusiast is customizing a checker set by painting a design on each of the 24 checker set. It takes him 35 minutes to paint one on each checker. If C of the checkers are already painted, which of the following represents... Okay, so it's the minutes to paint the remainder. The remainder, since there's 35 total, is 35 minus C, and then he needs... sorry, not 35 minus C, 24 minus C. There's 24 checkers, and he's already painted C of them. So like if he painted 5, he'd have 19 left to paint, and then multiply this times 35. So 35 times 24 minus C, which is C. Right? Yes. What is the sum of these two? All right, let's see if there's any like terms, and there are just the numbers. So it's 3x to the 5th plus 12x cubed Oh, no, these are like terms. 4x squared negative 2x squared is plus 2x squared plus 14. So the fifth, 12x cubed. Boom, right there. Yeah, these are all out. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next page. Okay. Next is, hold on. Line L is shown in the xy plane. Line M is parallel to line L and pass through the point 0, 3. We can actually draw it just for fun. 0, 3 means that point. So it's obviously going to go like this, right? Which of the following is an equation of line M? Well, the y-intercept is 3. Y equals, remember it's just mx plus b, which is the y-intercept, which is already 3. We just need to know the slope. What's the slope? It's negative. So these positive slopes are out. And it's negative, and it goes, well, what's the slope of this one? Down 2 over 3. So it's negative 2/3. Negative 2/3 x plus 3. Right? Down 2 over 3. A. Next. What are the slope and y-intercept of the graph in the xy plane of the equation? This, okay, we need to isolate y, so 4y, let's put it here. 4y equals negative 5x, I'm subtracting that, minus 3, I'm subtracting that as well. Divided both everything by 4, get negative 5/4 x minus 3/4, which means my slope is negative 5/4, so these guys are out, and my y-intercept is negative 3/4, not 3/4. So it's A. What value satisfies the equation above? Let's solve for x. I'm going to multiply everything by 4 to get rid of a fraction, so that's x minus 8 equals 12 minus 4x. Add 4x to both sides, I get 5x minus 8 equals 12. Add 8, 5x equals 20, x equals 4. Okay. Next. Right now, the goal is, since these questions are on the easier side, because in the earlier portion of the section, we want to be getting a surplus of time, and that's what I'm building right now. You'll notice that we've only had 5 minutes elapsed, and really we have more than a minute per question, but I'm getting a surplus. I'm on question 7 now, so let's keep it going. What is the solution to the equation above? X equals, wherever this goes to 0 and this goes to 0, so negative 2 and 1/2. That's it. I don't know why they put this, but it's just this one, 1/2 and negative 2. Yeah, positive 1/2. Cool. Next. Wait a minute. Yeah. In the complex number system, which of the following is equivalent to this? Okay, all we got to do is combine like terms. Distribute that negative, so it's 3 plus 4i minus 2 minus 3i, right? The negative distributes to both. And then 3 minus 2 combined like terms is 1. 4i minus 3i is just I. Boom, there we go. Next. X minus 3 equals. All right, what's the solution? Let's cross multiply. Boom, boom. So it's 2x minus 2 equals 3x plus 3. Subtract 2x from both sides, and we get x plus 3 equals negative 2, right? And then we subtract 3, x equals negative 5, which is A. In the function above, k is a constant. If 2 is a 0 of the function, what is the value of k? Got it. Wait a minute. What's the best way to do this? I'm thinking quadratic formula, I guess. Wait. 2 is 0 of the function. 16, 8, 6, and 3. 9 and 2. It's 18 or negative 18. All right, I have to explain. I'm trying to just do this fast without using the quadratic formula. I'm realizing that it's got to be 18 probably because that's the only way we can have 9 and 2 as factors, and then they add to 11. So they add to negative 11, but oh no, then they have to, it's positive 18. It's D. Here's why. This would be x squared minus 11x plus 18, which means if we'd factor, it would be x minus 2, x minus 9. And this would make 2 a 0. And this would actually, if you FOIL it, would come back to this. Positive 18, negative 11. So it's got to be 18. I can go over that one again. I sort of did it a little bit mentally. And I can definitely do that if you have questions on it. And I can show you how to do it a more standard way as well. But that's literally what I would do in a real test situation. All right, next. Which of the following is equivalent to this? All right, combine like terms, multiply the top and bottom by 2, so we get common denominators, 4 6x squared minus 1 6x squared. 4 minus 1 is 3 over 6x squared, divide by 3, 1 over 2x squared, which is D. Yeah. What is the solution set to this? Well, I assume that's an equal sign there. I'm going to get common denominators. So what I want to do is I have a denominator of x minus 3 and x. I need everything to be the same, so it'll have to be x times x minus 3. So this one we multiply by x and x. And then this one we multiply by x over x. And this one by x minus 3. Can't really fit it in there, top and bottom. But the reason why it doesn't matter about the bottom is because everything's going to have the same denominator, and when everything is the same denominator, we can just get rid of the denominators. And then we have left on top x times x minus 2 equals x minus 3 plus x, because that x is going to multiply them 1. And now we can solve. This becomes x squared minus 2x, just distributing like this, equals x plus x is 2x minus 3. Let's subtract 2x and add 3 to get rid of those. Now we've got, remember, it's just a quadratic. We're setting equal to 0. X squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. And then we're going to factor. So we got x. It's going to be minus 3 and minus 1. Because that negative 3 and negative 1 gives me a positive 3, and they add to negative 4, so I know I factor correctly. So the solution set to this is 1 and 3. Those are the zeros. But check it out. We got to check to make sure both of these solutions work and don't get any zeros in the denominator. 1 is fine. 3 is not, because this would be 3 minus 3, which is 0, and that would give me a undefined whole thing. So the 3 is no good, but 1 is okay, so it's just that. All right. Okay. Next. The number of microscopic organisms in a Petri dish grows exponentially with time. If the function P above models the number of organisms after growing for T days in the Petri dish, okay, based on which of the following statements is true? Hold on. Oh, that's a T up there, right? This is hard to read, so I think this is what the function is. P of T equals 3 to the T over 2, I think. Right? The predicted number of organisms in the dish triples. I bet it's this, but hold on. I'll explain why once I read everything else. The predicted number of organisms in the dish triples it's not every 3 days. Triples every day. It's not. Okay. It's not doubles every day. It's not doubles, first of all. So B and D are wrong because the way that it grows is it grows based on that number. That's the multiplier. So you can see, now if you're not sure, you can plug and chug and figure this out, but I'm telling you it triples. And why does it triple every 2 days? Because it's t over 2, which means in 2 days, this exponent's going to be 1. So it's going to be 3 to the 1, which is 3 times 60 is 180. In 4 days, it's going to be 4 over 2, which is 2, which means it's going to be tripling again. So because it'll be 3 squared, which is like 3 and then times 3, so 3 and 3. So another triple. So watch, it's going to go day 0, it's going to be 60. Day 2, it's going to be 180. Day 4, it's going to be 540. So you see it's tripling like that. So it's tripling every 2 days. But if you plug and chug, it's really makes life much easier. Okay. So you see the time surplus that's been built there. I still have more than 10 minutes. I have 12 minutes. And we're almost to the free response. When we get when we get to the free response, the difficulty resets and it becomes a lot easier. And hold on. It becomes a lot easier, so we can kind of take a breath, at least for the first 3 questions from 16, 17, 18. In the xy plane, the graph of the equation y equals 9x minus 8 intersects the graph of the equation y equals x squared at 2 points. What is the sum of, okay, set these guys equal to each other. X squared equals 9x minus 8. Subtract 9x, add 8, set it equal to 0. Factor, so minus 1 minus 8, because those multiply to positive 8, add to negative 9. So the solutions are 8, because remember, this is equal to 0. So when does this go to 0 at 8? This one goes at 1. So the sum of the x coordinates of the 2 points is 8 and 1, which is 9. That's it. As long as I didn't make a mistake. So I'd like to, usually with something like this, I'd like to be a little bit more thorough if I have the time. Like I'd graph it out, just something like that, just to be safe. And I'd say something like, okay, and it's 9x minus 8. I don't know. Let's see. And then minus 8. And then it's like shooting straight up. And we're saying that it intersects at 1 and 8. Like that makes sense to me, roughly. 8, 64, 72. Yeah. This is definitely right. And then 1. It's definitely right. Actually, I just plugged it in and figured out that it was definitely correct in my head. So then which of the following expressions is equivalent to this? Yikes. Okay, what do we do with exponent rules? Look, let me write it so it's a little clearer. To the 2/3. This guy comes in and multiplies that, but don't forget it also multiplies this exponent too. Okay, we like distribute to the exponents. So negative 4 to the 2/3 power. And then 2/3 times 3 is 2x squared. Okay. So that's x squared and that's fine. Now we're taking the cube root of, oh yeah, this should be in parentheses. Hold on. The cube root of negative 4. And then squaring that. Okay, the top part is the exponent. So it's negative 4 squared, which is 16. And this can be simplified because this is 8 times 2. 8 is a perfect cube. So a 2 comes out, so it's 2. And then we still have the x squared, right? This is all this stuff. So the 8 comes out as a 2. We have the x squared here. And then we have left is the cube root of 2. It's C. Wait a minute. That's wrong. Yeah, it's this guy. Cool. I feel confident about that. 8 minutes left. 5 problems to go. Pretty good. It's pretty good whoops, wrong one. Pretty good time conservation. I bet you I'll finish the first 3 in under the 20-minute mark. It's usually what happens. No guarantee, of course. Could be wrong, could be harder than I think, but Okay. In the right triangle above, BC is 8. If the cosine of x, cosine is adjacent over that means AC over 8 equals square root of 3 over 2. Why? Because cosine of x is AC over this. And they're saying it equals square root of 3 over 2. So that means AC is 4 times the square root of 3. Because if this is 8, right, I multiply this by 4, I'd have to multiply this by 4. So therefore AC is 4 square root 3. And then we need to know what is the length of AB. Now I can use Pythagorean Theorem, which is 4 square root 3 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared, which is 64. This is 16 times 3, which is 48. Then we subtract 48 from 64, and it's 16. Good. Equals 16, therefore x equals 4. So that's my answer there. Okay, that I may be wrong in my time estimate. That took longer than I thought. What value of x satisfies this equation? It's -2. No, it can't be -2. It's like 1.5 or something. I'm trying to find a shortcut, but having trouble. So get common denominators. Okay, so x minus 1 on top over x times x minus 1 on the bottom plus x on top over x times x minus 1 on the bottom. So I multiply that by x and x, that by x minus 1 equals 0. And then I get 2x minus 1 over x squared minus x equals 0. 1/2. 2. Yeah, it's 1/2. Or I'll just say 0.5. Because all we need to do now is just basically I'm not caring so much about this. As long as it doesn't go to 0, it's basically just when does 2x minus 1 equal 0? That's really all we care about. And 2x minus 1 equals 0 when x equals 0.5. Because that's the numerator that's going to dictate when it goes to 0. So 0.5, 1/2. Okay, we're not doing great in time, actually. I'm a little worried now. So for a function, f of -1 equals 12, and f of 1 -1 x equals 12, f of 1 equals 16. It's a line. What is the slope? Oh, that's not bad. It's just subtract down. Okay, so 12 minus 16 is -4 over -1 minus 1 is -2. So it's a slope of 2, right? Goes over, up 2, to the right 2, up 4. Yeah, it's a slope of 2. No worries. An angle measures 540 degrees was written in radians as x pi. So 500. The way we convert degrees to radians is we multiply it by pi, and then the equivalent of pi, which is 180 degrees. And then these guys can both be divided by 180. 180 goes in 3 times, so it ends up becoming 3 pi. And they want to know the x value in front of the pi, which is just 3. That one wasn't too bad. If you know how to convert, if you don't know how to convert degrees to radians, you're done there. That might be on the front. I can't remember if that is given in the equations. We'll check. Tamika's ordering a desktop computers for her company. The cost is $375 each computer. and taxes 6% of the total cost. She can spend no more than $40,000 on the desktop computers, including tax. So it's 375 times X times 1.06, that's including the tax, has to be less than or equal to 40,000. Oh man, this is not that common on this type of test where you have to do this type of long multiplication. It's just a pain. Usually you get this on the okay, 30. Oh my god. 42, 45, carry the 4. That's all zeros, and then that's 5, 7, 3, 0, 5, 7, 9, 3. Move decimal place over twice. So 397.50, and then we have to divide 40,000 by that. This is crazy. I think the answer is about 100, but it might be 101. So that's why I have to double check. 397.50. This is just really bad. I don't normally see this. There's my decimal. Oh god. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, so this goes in one time. 397.50 is 250, right? Because that is that, bring down a 0. That goes in 0 times, bring down another 0. Okay, so 397, oh, it goes in 0 times again because it's still too small. So it's 100. So if you're running out of time, I guess you could have estimated and been like, oh, it's a little under 40,000. That's probably the strategy. It's just barely under 400, so it's probably 100 computers. Okay, just under the wire, 40 seconds remaining, and I'm going to stop the timer. I'm not going to review anything. Let's go straight to the answers. Let's see how we did. All right. Oh, wait, no. That's the test. Now we got to find... Uh-oh. Here we go. So I've just been kind of throwing it up here. Okay, make it a little bigger. I see that 100 right there, so that's good. Definitely got that one right. And now let's grade it. Here we go. BCB. BCB. This one is AAB. AAB. This one is 6, 7 is A, B. 9 is A, that's D. Yeah, so far so good. So those were what, the first 10 questions? So far those are all correct. Now we go here. 11 is D, 12 is A. This was a tough one, and I think somebody asked me about the number 13, and that is correct. I think I explained that pretty well, but if I did not, let me know. I can go over it again. 14 D, 15 is C. Sweet. Here we go. This is where you got to be careful because there's no multiple choice to guide you. You make a mistake, and that's that. So you got to be really careful. 4 is correct. 0.5, you could either enter 0.5 or 1/2. That's correct. 2 is correct. 3 is correct. And 100. Boom. All of them were done correctly. Sweet. So there you have it, the March SAT. Let's go on to the questions here. Luke, thank you. The GOAT, greatest of all time, right? Somebody asked me which test this is. This is the March 2018 test. All right. This is March 2008. Thank you for answering that, Rajul. Good luck. Okay. Khan Academy math. People have asked me this. Honestly, Khan Academy, in my opinion, PH kind of easier. I think Khan Academy is harder. I've taken every test. I've gone through about 70% of all those practice problems, I think, or somewhere like that, 65%. The practice tests, I think, are on point, but from what I've seen of these real tests, I think the real tests are just a tad easier than those practice tests. And the practice exercises are definitely harder than the real SAT when you get into level 3 and level 4. If you can solve those and you start getting the hang of the harder ones, you're in good shape, really good shape. 7 confused you, Sergey. Okay, let me show 7. Oh yeah, 7 was the one that I did mentally like. No, where's 7? Oh, 7. Okay, I can explain it. Okay, look, the solutions for this equation is where this is set to 0. So it's 0 when this binomial goes to 0 or this one goes to 0. This one goes to 0 when 2x minus 1 equals 0. And it equals 0 when 2x equals 1 or x equals 1/2. So we'll just isolate. So that's how we get the 1/2. It also equals 0 when x plus 2 equals 0. Which is negative 2. And it's as simple as that. They're trying to throw you off with this exponent. Now, yes, what the detail is that negative 2 has a multiplicity of 2. So technically we can think about it as having almost 3 zeros, or a 0 and then a 0 with a multiplicity of 2. But they're not asking about that. They don't care about that. They just want you to list those zeros. Does that make sense? And then, yeah, oh, yeah, PH, it's way easier. This is way easier than the level 4 on Khan Academy. That's what I'm saying. You're 100% right. Yes, Miriam. See, I mean, like, don't take my word for it. Everybody is really, I mean, it's so obvious. I saw the October or May International. So people have asked me about the international tests and if they're different. I actually don't know. I'd be shocked if they were different. That would be really weird. I could see the curves being different, but that's about it. Okay. Number 4, 13. The root could be split into 4 and 4, which would bring them both out as 2. No, Sergey, for that one, number 13, it would not bring them out as 2 because we're not talking about a square root. Hold on, let me show you. We're talking about a cube root. It's a very important distinction. So look, if you see here in the work, right, the denominator determines the power of the root. And since it's a 3 in the denominator, we're talking about a cube root. So a cube root, if you can't take the cube root of 4, you can only take the cube root of 8. So that's why it becomes 2 times 8 cube root. This is a perfect cube that comes out, and the cube root of 8 is 2. And this guy's trapped. Hope that makes sense. Reading is annoying. I agree. This is the October 15th, October 2018, March 2018, but I think you've probably figured that out now. 17 and 15 were a little confusing. Do you want to see 17 and 15 again then? You know what? Let's just do it. 15 first. 15. That's the one I just talked about. So let me know if that answered it. Here's 17. And 17, I didn't explain it thoroughly because I got into a bit of a rush. So let me do that right now. It's 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 1 equals 0. I want to know when this equation equals 0. The first thing I'm going to do no matter what is if I see these two fractions like this, I want to get them together. So I want to have them have common denominators. So I'm going to multiply this one by x minus 1. And I'm going to multiply this one by x. And look what happens. We've got x times x minus 1 in both denominators. So now we're in good shape. And this top one then just becomes x minus 1. This one just becomes x. And they're all joined over this common denominator. Now we're at this point. I don't care so much about the denominator. Okay, the denominator is not going to impact when this is going to go to 0. The only thing it's going to have an issue with is it just means that x can't equal 0 and x can't equal 1, because that'll make the denominator go to 0. So if our solution is in one of those two, then we have a problem. But otherwise, I don't care about this. All I care about is turning the numerator into 0. So when will this, which is the same as 2x minus 1, when will 2x minus 1 equal 0? Let's isolate and divide by 2, and our answer is 1/2. Okay. Dunia, you're asking if you should, I'm sorry if your brain hurts. You're asking if you should practice tomorrow. I think it's okay to practice tomorrow up to a certain point, but my general recommendation is, look, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. Depends on where you're located, by the way, too. But let's say I'm assuming you're on the East Coast. You're going to finish my live stream around 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. Once that live stream is complete, it's pretty late in the afternoon. I don't recommend going hard and practicing the night of that much, because it is going to stress you out. It's going to disrupt your sleep, etc. What's important at that point is to maximize your rest, calm your emotions, and feel good and feel excited about the test the next day. So I would say don't go crazy on Friday. Just practice in the morning. If you have time, watch my live stream and then be done. And I'll give you guys some good test taking tips for the day of. Yo, Luke, thank you. The Khan Academy questions are really challenging. Yeah, I mean, I can. I wasn't planning on it. The thing is, I have so many videos of me doing Khan Academy problems. I have a ridiculous amount. Here's what I can do. If you want to see specific Khan Academy problems solved that are challenging to you, Kane, what you can do is take screenshots of those problems and send them to me. You can email them to me at, here's my email. One sec. You can email them to me here. Okay, that's my email address. So take screenshots, send me the pictures, and I'll do them for you tomorrow after I go over the test, okay, and the presentation. But also search my channel. There's an entire playlist of Khan Academy, me solving Khan Academy problems. So many. (2018) April test. I'd love to. I didn't see it, Adam. So if you have it or know where I can get it, yeah, I'll totally do it next time maybe. Come back and show more. Which one, Sergey? Can you tell me what number you're talking about? Oh wait, I think I know what number you're talking about. Where was it? It was. Hold on. It was with K. It was this one. All right. Oh, no. What happened? Oh, come on. Oh, yes. All right. It's still there. Amazing. All right. That was close. Now, let's check this out. What you could do, this is what I was thinking, is you could plug in the quadratic, you could plug this in the quadratic formula. And we'd say negative b, which is 11, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 121, 11 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is k, over 2a, which is just 2. And then Oh, see, this is... Okay, this is actually worse, but we could say 11. This is what I was originally thinking of doing, but now that I'm doing it, it's not maybe that fast, but let's do it anyways. We have two solutions here with plus and minus. So first I'm going to set the positive one. Minus 4k over 2 equals 2. Okay, this theoretically equals 2. No, because see, I don't know if it's the positive or the negative. That equals 2. Hold on. Oh, I know what to do. Wow, this is the most easiest way to solve this one. This is what I should have done. If it's a 0, it means if you plug 2 in to this function, it's 0. It's 0 equals, and then you plug 2 in. 2 squared minus 11 times 2 plus k. Wow, and that's so much easier. Equals 4 minus 22 plus k. 4 minus 22 is negative 18 plus k. Add 18, add 18. It's 18 equals k. That's it. That's how you do it. 20 to solve 20 faster. Let me see 20 again. No, I don't. That one I did the best I could. I just think that's a kind of a mean question to put on the no calculator section. I literally have not seen them do that. And I think it was a bit of an estimation problem. I mean, let me think. I'm just not sure. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about it. But I think that this is the best way to do it, sadly. Thank you for 17 and 15. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, people have been asking me to. The problem is, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I have a tutoring company, and I do a lot of private tutoring in Los Angeles, and I'm also a teacher at a school in Los Angeles. And the problem is my mornings are usually spent at the school teaching for about 2 hours. And that's the issue. That's why it's hard for me to stream earlier. Hey, yo, yeah, Luke, thank you for the love from the UK. How much to study to get over 1,500? I can't answer that question because it's different for everybody. It depends on your baseline, and it depends on how you're studying, whether you have a tutor or not, things like that. There's just so many factors. I could give you a better answer if you gave me some info. For example, where your first score is, your baseline score, whether you have a deficit in math or verbal. I mean, if you have a big deficit in verbal, it may not even be possible to get a 1,500 in 3 months or 6 months or what have you, because it's such a slowly developed skill to be able to read efficiently and effectively. Okay. Piyush, I may not be able to solve it today, whatever you're emailing me, but I can do it tomorrow. Oh, Dunia, I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll be able to, but, I know, guys, I know it's so late. I love that you guys are waiting till 2 a.m. to join. That's so cool. I really appreciate it, and I hope it's been helpful. Piyush, I know. Yo, hey, yeah, you're welcome, man. Are we allowed to use calculators and calculator programs? I don't believe so. I don't believe you're allowed to put programming in. The most tested material, somebody asked me that in the comments. Actually, I think you asked me that, or somebody did, and I responded. I mean, look at this test. There's always a lot of stuff with quadratics, meaning x squared. There's always a lot of stuff with, this is a good example, this test. There's always a lot of linear equations. There's like one of these usually. Just this variable isolation, variable manipulation, slope. Obviously, there's a few questions on that. I'd say that's it. That sums it up. There weren't a lot of data analysis questions, but there's a lot of data analysis too, usually on the calculator section. Yeah, I'm doing math tomorrow. Wow, that's a great PSAT score for 10th grade. 1280. Hey, Sergey, you're welcome. I'm very happy. through a history double passage. When are you taking it this Saturday? Because I can't do it before this Saturday, but I can do that eventually. Hey, you're very welcome. Word problems. It depends on how you break down how you read, but I mean, at the end of the day, I can tell you the basics is you just got to read very carefully and look for anything that's they're trying to trip you up with, because they're trying to trick you on those big time. Oh, I have another big tip. Don't get bogged down by all the technical verbiage that they use. A lot of times they'll give you these heavy science word problems, or with all this language, and just to make it overly complicated. And usually there's a formula at the end, and all you got to do is plug in a value to a formula. So that's another thing, is try not to. I wouldn't go crazy trying to understand everything that some of these word problems are talking about, because the information is superfluous. Yeah, it's going to be a video, and you'll be able to watch it later. Even if you can't stay up late to watch the video tomorrow, you can wake up early and watch the replay in the morning before the test. And make sure to do that, because there's going to be some tips in there that will be specifically for test day. Okay, guys, I got to jump off because I have to go tutor actually in about 30 minutes. And yeah, you guys don't know this, but I tutor a lot every day. I tutor between, I'd say, like 7 and 9 hours every day. Except for Fridays, and I gotta go get ready. So thank you guys so much for joining. If I don't talk to you again tomorrow, I hope I do, but if I don't, I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you crush it, and that's why I make these videos, to help you do that. And I know you can do it in the math if you're just careful and you're paying attention, and hopefully making your mistakes now as opposed to tomorrow, Saturday. That's it. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll see you next time. Take it